What is up, friends? Gary here, making another video for you. Day 12 of the 30-day video challenge. We're almost halfway through this challenge. It's fun, you know. I'm having a good time, you know, coming up with this stuff. Definitely getting better. At least I think so, and that's what matters most. So let's get on to it. So today I'm going to talk about the fifth pillar in the 5 pillars of life, and this is really the pinnacle, the capstone of the pyramid, if you want to look at it like that, and that is personal growth and self-actualization. Okay, personal growth and self-actualization, that is the ultimate goal that every single human being is striving for. It's becoming the very best you that you can be. How can I get better for myself, for my family, for society, for the whole? That's personal growth, that's self-actualization. The problem is that right now there's so much energy that people expend putting into just, let's say, their basic survival needs. Food, clothing, shelter, and let's say ancillaries like gas and things like that, energy, okay? There's so much time and so much energy is put into just taking care of basic survival needs that most people don't have a lot of time to really sit down, to look at their life, to ask themselves, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? What am I really passionate about that could really add a lot of value to the planet as a whole? If you're so focused on, you know, because the gauge on your health is empty, the gauge on your money is empty, the gauge on your relationships are empty, the gauge on your spirituality or your connection to your source is empty, you're not thinking about. So, I mean, it's the furthest thing from your mind. So, you have to have a certain level of energy. You have to be at a certain level in each of those 4 main pillars of life in order for you to even think about and start working on at a serious level your personal growth as a human being and becoming self-actualized. Okay? So the 4 areas that I'm going to talk about on this video as far as personal growth and self-actualization are these. The first one is having a purpose. Having a purpose to your life. Okay, I really feel like for me, in the first, I'm only 31 right now, so when I was 25, from before then, from like the age of reason for me, you know, let's say, again, the middle of junior high up until my mid-20s, I really didn't feel like I have a purpose in life. I just felt like, you know, Groundhog Day. I was a mechanic, you know, went to work, made money, went home, partied on the weekends. That was my life, just a cycle. I just really didn't feel like there was a purpose. But the vicious cycle I was also running was those negative emotions. You know, I didn't like myself, I didn't like my life, I didn't like who I was, and I really didn't feel like I had a purpose at all. Okay, so really knowing what your purpose is, and for me, I feel like my purpose right now is to share my message and to try to help people get to the next area of their life, because, you know, I believe that I've really made some really good shortcuts, and I've created a lot of good concepts and a lot of good tools that can really allow you to take your life to the next level in a relatively short amount of time and make lasting change. Change it lasts forever. So in order to do that, you've got to have a purpose. You've got to have a goal that you're shooting for, your final destination, something that's going to mean a lot to you. So, and that really starts by asking yourself this question is, if I could do anything, and I knew I would not fail, what would I do? Okay, so what would you do? Okay, if you knew you would not fail, what would you do? If you could make money doing it, if you could take care of everything in your life, if you knew you could, what's one thing you would do if you knew you could not fail? That's a pretty darn good question that's going to start leading you to your purpose. Okay, so asking yourself, again, empowering questions to find out the end result, and that is, what is your purpose? What do you feel like you can do at a high level to add value to the world? Okay, the second is self-discipline. Okay? Self-discipline is simply getting yourself to do what you know you need to do when you need to do it. Okay? So self-discipline. It's just, you know, you got to wake up. If you're going to work out in the morning, you got to wake up. There can be no excuses. And, you know, on the road to personal growth, to being a better person, is that you start to create more empowering disciplines, because we are all habitual creatures. Every human on the planet is habitual. Okay, we run programs over and over and over again every single day. You probably wake up about the same time every single day. You go to work the same time. You eat lunch the same time. You brush your teeth. You do all those things. Those are disciplines. But also, we have each one of us, we probably have a handful of disciplines that are not getting us the results that we want. So we have to identify what those are, and then just once you've identified it, I mean, that's half the battle, is now you've discovered the bad programming within yourself. You can simply replace that. You replace it by catching yourself running that program. Catch yourself running the opposite of empowering. So disempowering discipline, you just turn it around. Okay? So having self-discipline, having positive, powerful habits that you perform every day to get the results you want. Okay, number 3 is commitment. Okay, commitment. I've talked about this in other chapters before. This is a key character trait for someone to have. Period. Commitment. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. Okay, it's following through with your word. Okay, and finally, the iron core is persistence. Okay, Napoleon Hill wrote in his fantastic book, Think and Grow Rich, there's an entire chapter dedicated to persistence. There are going to be obstacles in your way. There are going to be tests that life is going to throw at you to see how serious you are about achieving your end purpose. Okay, persistence. Okay, you must have persistence is to man what iron is to steel. Carbon is to steel. Okay? It's the strength, is that you keep on keeping on no matter what happens. You know that it's a learn, just like we talked about in the previous lesson, is you've got to have faith. You've got to know that when you're in those times, when you're being tested, when things are hard, when the tough is, when you just want to give up and you're in so much pain emotionally, psychologically, hopefully not, but maybe physically, when you're in that pain, you've got to know that that is when you are learning, that is when you are growing, that is when you need to persist most, is when you are going through those trying times. Okay? If you can do that, then you look at those things not as pain that's going to make you fail, but it's going to be that kind of when you temper steel, it's that heat that you're going through, trial by fire. So persistence, keep on keeping on. Okay, so call to action today. Nice. Call to action today is number 1, is ask yourself that question. What if I could do anything and I knew I would not fail, what would I do? Okay, ask yourself that question. Second question, okay, is ask yourself, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Start asking yourself that question. If you're at a kind of a place where you're maybe lost or confused and you want some more clarity, just start asking yourself more empowering questions instead of disempowering questions. Okay? That's another thing that comes down to discipline. Okay, successful people are asking themselves empowering questions. Okay, whereas unsuccessful people are asking themselves disempowering questions, and remember from the last one of the last lessons is they're blaming. They're coming from that victim mentality. They're blaming. They're allowing their circumstances to affect their thoughts, whereas successful people will use their thoughts and create their circumstances. So ask yourself those 2 questions. Self-discipline. Start taking inventory of your daily disciplines. Okay, write down what you do and what are non-productive and what are productive activities. And if you have non-productive activities, ask yourself, how can I replace this non-productive activity with a productive activity? Okay? So be committed, keep on keeping on every single day. I mean, this is day 12. Day 12. That's awesome. Okay, so keep on doing a good job, guys. I'm going to keep on doing it here. Just working hard, studying, learning, growing, never-ending, constant improvement. I hope you have a great weekend. If you need anything at all, you can get at me anyway. So do it well.